Come here, friend. Come here. Come. Friend, come.
Hey friends. Danny and Sebastian are leaving, which it sounds like there's like a motorcycle starting. That's just his Jeep. And the dog has a toy. I am going to go get under a blanket with some hot tea because I've been outside most of the day and it is 30 degrees or right around freezing. I went out and wiped down the railings because they're disgusting with pollen and quarry rock dust so that Danny could put the rest of the lights out. And I came out with some food. I don't even know what's going on with Danny's box jungle. I came out with some food because Sebastian had to have lunch and was helping with the lights. And I see a big white dog running down the sidewalk across the street. I'm like, do you see a person with that dog? I just have this little radar. When I see a dog, I always look for a person. I do it without thinking. And I didn't even tell you, but on Tuesday, the last day before the break, Sebastian and I were coming back from the coffee shop after school. And right when we got to the playground, I saw a dog, no person, and I just like pull over, leave my car door open. We're trying to convince the dog to come to us, but it was like skittish. And right then the office manager from the elementary school comes out of our house like ready to go for a run, and she helps. And then I have to like stop the dog from getting hit by a truck that was coming down the street. And then that guy just parks and just leaves his keys in his truck and is off running after her. She eventually got back. I wasn't the one to fully do it. I had to move my car, but she was taken care of. I posted in the Facebook group. So yeah, this was just less than a week ago. So I see this dog, and so I just abandoned the food on the porch with Sebastian and I go off following it. It actually looped around back towards our house. I had to stop a car at the intersection because it just ran in front of it again. And I do this to stop them, and then I'm like, I don't know whose dog this is. He rolls down his window and I'm like, it's just out running. I don't know, I'm trying to catch it. And then I'm following it and it disappears into somebody's backyard. I'm trying to figure out who. I'm posting in the Facebook group because I had gotten a picture. And then the same guy pulls over and says, I'm trying to get a picture of it. Did you see it? Which way did it go? I was like, I got a picture. I posted it in the Facebook. He's like, oh, great. Right these streets. And then he got out of his car and was trying to help me. It turned out to be in one of our neighbors' yards. They just have cats. But I guess they had thrown like old bread out for birds. And he was going to town eating that bread, and it actually kept him from running away from us because he was so hyper fixated on eating these breadcrumbs off of the ground that the guy was able to grab his collar. There was no tag. So I ran back to the house for a leash, a spare leash, and then ran back out. The neighbor had come out, and the dude wanted to go. He was like, can you take him to your house and call like the sheriff's office or something? I'm like, yeah. I wasn't gonna call the sheriffs unless we didn't hear back on Facebook. But usually the community is pretty good. But yeah, I took the dog. I was trying to convince him to walk with me, and he weighed more than me and did not want to go. But the neighbor whose house it was came out with dog biscuits that he had left over from Halloween and poured some in my pocket. So I got him moving at least. He's like, oh, you got food too. And then we couldn't put him in our side yard because there's poo-poos out there from this week of our dog pooping. We didn't want it to eat poo-poos. So I just started walking, and any neighbor I saw out, which was quite a few because everybody's decorating for Halloween, I'd say, do you recognize this dog? There's a lot of no's, but then when I got to the end of our street, not far from where I saw him running, a guy's like, yes, I think I've even brought him back to his house before. I think his name is Sunny, and I think he lives on this street. So I was like, okay, I'll walk around there, but I also posted in the Facebook group. So I was hoping that I'd either narrow in on his owner looking for him, a neighbor who knows him, or the Facebook group would come through because I got a good picture of him. And Facebook one, somebody commented tagging the owner, and about at the same time I got a post saying that the owner was heading towards our house. I had posted the intersection we lived on, and Sebastian called me because he saw somebody coming up to say that it was her dog. So she had to wait for a minute because I was down on her street probably. I come up, she meets me across the street, and I'm like, oh, do you need the leash to get him home? She's like, no, he'll probably follow me, it's good. So I unclip it and he goes, pew, it takes off and ends up straight back in that backyard eating the breadcrumbs. And it actually took a minute to catch him again because he kept like running in a frenzy around the yard. But we got him hooked back up to the leash, and I'm like, just take the leash, you know where we live, you can leave it on the porch when you're done. And we walked by my house on her way to take him home, and he just went up on our stairs and sat down. He's like, I'm good, I'll stay here. So I'm like, here's some cookies, look, your mommy has cookies, you want to go? So that was our adventure. But one thing about me, even if it's nowhere near my house, if I see a dog loose, I will stop and try to get it. And I have returned one and been late to like little kid gym classes and stuff in the middle of a busy road and stuff because I hope somebody would do the same for my dog. So that was my big adventure. They just left to go watch a football game, I guess, so they're not going to be home till bedtime. So that means it's just Jax and I for dinner. But I just made this tea. Did I bring it up already? I think I brought it. Yeah, I put it on my desk. So I'm gonna go get under my blanket and warm back up. I'm actually not that cold. I think I finally got used to the cold weather because I was outside so much today. But yeah, that was my day. Not the funnest, but it is what it is. an eventful end to the day. I was up here working on this row of braids along the front. I've got 2 more to go. And I was just gonna call that good enough for now, for tomorrow when I have to be around people. I was waiting for Danny and Sebastian to get home. I hear the Jeep, it's so loud, so I bring up the camera and I see them pulling up, and right as they're like closing their doors, I hear this boom, and the house kind of shook, and I was like, what the heck? So as they were coming in the house, I was like rewinding the video to try and figure out if it was something outside, like a car. And then I hear Danny calling me, and I go down there, and a brand new, humongous Costco size thing of laundry soap had fallen off the clothes washer in the spin cycle, and both lids blasted off, cracked, and half of the 1.86 gallons were spread out over the kitchen floor. So I immediately threw a huge blanket on it to soak up as much as I could, stomped around on it, and then I had to put that in the sink and wring out all the soap because that's too much soap to put into the wash. And it took like half an hour of wringing. My sleeve is still a little wet. But I rinsed and rinsed and wringed and wringed. We also used a towel for a little bit more, and then I had to like rinse the floor several times with water, and now all those soapy towels should be done washing, because while I was doing all that, Sebastian was getting ready for bed. I had already put everything out, and then I was trying to get him to sleep, but he was so starving. I guess they didn't have a real dinner where they went, and they were just snacking, and like in the middle of the day, I had fed him chips and guacamole because he was just determined to help Danny all day and didn't stop to eat. And then I fed him 2 hard-boiled eggs. So he did get some food. He didn't have breakfast because they went right out to the garage to work on Danny's car that he's selling. And just came in after an hour or so and just ate like cheese sticks. Because Danny could do that. He can like survive off of nothing, and we can't. But yeah, he couldn't fall asleep. He was so hungry. He was crying. I'm like, okay, what do you want? How do we solve this? I confirmed with Danny he hadn't had much for dinner. So he said he wanted something healthy like fruit, and I sent him down to eat the last banana we had because I know once they hit your tummy, they're a little filling. So hopefully he won't wake up, but he did fall asleep not too long after that. And now I've just escaped. It's already 10. I was hoping to be out of there earlier. I've got to finish editing this, and I need to do those last 2 braids. I need to pull out a bagel. I need to rotate the laundry. I wasn't planning on doing 1 more load, but now I need to fold Jax's clothes so I can put those things in the dryer. And then get myself ready for bed. But yeah, wow, that was fun. My hair is half done for bed. I'm supposed to be wearing a bonnet now because this is my real hair. And it wakes up and it's all frizzy and it's bad for it. But I don't like it because it's hard to have so much hair in it. So I haven't figured out how to wear it comfortably. And instead I've been putting 2 rubber bands, and at least keep some of my hair in place. I don't know. I'm gonna go. Bye. Good night. Gonna start a crazy week. I did get part of a migraine right before my bath, which was scary, but it stopped, so that's good. I don't know what that was all about. They don't usually stop. But yeah, it's gonna be stressful, but we're gonna work through it. Good night. Stay safe, be kind, and don't forget, wash your hands.